result forms at constituency tallying center, tallying and declaration of the member of National Assembly, member of County Assembly, collation of presidential, gubernatorial, and senatorial, and County Women Assembly, member of Parliament results. So tallying and declaration of member of National Assembly, member of County Assembly is done at constituency, but also at constituency there's collation of presidential results, gubernatorial results, senatorial results, and county woman member of National Assembly results. At the county tallying center, we have the final tallying and declaration of gubernatorial and senatorial and county woman member of National Assembly, county woman member of National Assembly results. So those are declared at the county tallying center. Then at the national center is the final tallying and declaration of presidential results from all the polling stations. So let me assure you that at the National Tallying Center, which I'm in charge of as the National Returning Officer, we are ready to undertake this exercise, and we have put everything in place to make it happen. And I just want to thank all who have been involved in these processes, all stakeholders who have worked with us to prepare for this general election. I also want to finally say something to the Kenyan voters. In closing, let us now cast our eyes to focus to the patriotic duty that lies before us, the opportunity to express our voices through the ballot. To this end, I'm calling upon every registered Kenyan voter, both here in Kenya and in the diaspora, to show up to their respective polling stations to exercise their democratic right. At this moment in time, let us draw inspiration from the 2010 Constitution that vests all sovereign power to the people of Kenya, who may exercise it either directly or through their elected representatives. Let us collectively rise up and show the world that Kenya is a vibrant democracy. On our part as a commission, we shall ensure that every vote counts, because that we shall ensure to count every vote, because every vote counts. So for Kenyans, this is our time, our moment to make it happen. Before I close this afternoon, we received information from our lawyers in the Court of Appeal that the Court of Appeal has stayed the judgment of the High Court, which directed the Commission to cross out the register as a complementary to the KIMS kits. Remember, the Court of Appeal has directed we follow the guidelines given by the Court of Appeal in the case of NASA versus Iebc, which gave guidelines that the Commission followed as we prepared for this election. And so today the Court has stayed the High Court order, which directed that in addition to following the guidelines of using the fiscal register as a last resort if the KIMS kits fails, the High Court had directed that we also cross the register at the time of verification. So the Commission shall stand guided by the orders of the Court of Appeal this afternoon, and we have accordingly directed our staff, who had been adequately trained, to now follow the procedure as laid down by the Court of Appeal, that they'll have the fiscal register with them and will only use it if all the KIMS kits fail in that particular polling station. So thank you very much. That's our brief this afternoon. As I said, we shall engage on more briefings as and when any situation arises. Thank you. If you have any questions. Can we have somebody managing these questions? Who is?
Yeah. Good evening, Commission. I wanted to ask, my name is Ivy from Kenyans.co.ke. What measures have you put in place to ensure that the right ballot papers are delivered to the right counties, given the discovery of the Kilifi gubernatorial papers in the Mombasa ballot? Thank you.
Kuna lingine, Bwana Commissioner. Kwa majina naitwa Emmanuel Kilongi kutoka TV Magharibi, na ningependa kuuliza swala hili ambalo linafungamana na madai yaliyoibuliwa na mbunge wa Kabundu ya Kusini Moses Kuria kwamba huenda kukawa na udanganyifu kwenye zoezi hili nzima la uchaguzi. Akapeana kuwa kaunti ya Uasin Gishu huenda ikaathirika pakubwa, kwamba kuna makaratasi ambayo yatatoka katika ikulu ya Nakuru kuelekea Eldoret, na akapeana nambari ya gari ya usajili ya 853T. Je, na tumeona tena idara ya DCI imechukulia uzito swala hili ama madai hayo. Wewe kama mwenyekiti wa tume ya IEBC, usemi wako ni upi ama mtazamo wako? Asante.
Excuse me, let's have a set of questions. They respond, then we proceed to another. So, proceed.
My name is Irene Mwangi from Capital FM. My question is, in the case of Bwa East, where ballot papers were found in the house of a presiding officer, what is the protocol procedure in terms of transporting this material? Also the case in Chuka, what was the protocol procedure in terms of transporting these materials? Were they being transported without the security officials, or what was happening in those two particular incidences? Also, the Commission had said that by August 6th, the strategic and non-strategic materials will be delivered to the polling stations. Why are we having the issue of ballot papers, for finding out that ballot papers, mix-up of ballot papers a day before the elections?
Yeah, we can deal with that. The logistics, we have mentioned earlier in the week that all logistics have been done, materials are in the constituencies. Today is the day then that the presiding officers put all the materials using the checklist to then go to the respective polling stations. And in the process, they arrange everything in their respective boxes. All the presiding officer, the deputy, the 4 clerks, and 2 police officers then accompany the materials to the respective polling stations. This exercise is what's ongoing today. Some areas are vast. They have to leave early to be able to get there on time. Remember, polling starts at 6 in the morning, and these officers then have to stay either at the polling station. In fact, most of them sleep at the polling station waiting for the first voter to come at 6 in the morning. So in arranging those materials and following communication, I think from the CEO is here, they were then instructed to check the contents of what they are carrying. And in the process of doing so is when a discovery was made that led to the issue around the 4 elective positions. So the issue you are raising about polling materials, all polling materials, strategic materials are accompanied by police officers, and all of them were accompanied. So we talked about Webuye. There was nothing about polling materials found in an individual's house. There was no ballot papers in an individual's house. I don't know where you got that from. The issue of Webuye were clerks allegedly meeting with a candidate, but there was no issue about materials involved. The issue around Moses Kuria, I'm not privy to that information or tweet or whatever it is. I'm not aware, but all I want to say is that all ballot papers are in the respective constituencies. There are no ballot papers anywhere else, and I'm not privy to that information. Maybe unless any of the commissioners has anything to say about that. So we don't have that information. I don't even know whether the DCI is investigating it. We have not been informed as a commission about such investigations. Okay, you can share with us if you have information, and then we can give you feedback. Please, yeah.
We can take another set.
Yep. I'm trying to understand that. What do you attribute the errors in Kakamega and Mombasa to?
And also tied to, sorry.
Yes.
Also tied to the same Moremi Mwangi from ATN News.
Yes, Moremi.
When did these ballot papers that have errors land in the country? And when did it come to your attention that there are errors about it, and why is the country
Iji ni Wero TV.